thoughts on the week and putting together a good performance? What was most satisfying?
Was satisfying getting through, I guess, ultimately, but you know, I played really poorly yesterday and somehow shot a decent score, and to turn it around and play solid today and give myself a chance to go through, I'm happy with that, you know, and I get to play 4 rounds next week, and my golf's been pretty good and I've got nothing out of it. I feel, even though I'm not winning this event, I feel like I'm getting something out of the week, so hopefully that's good for the confidence going into next week and somehow have a big week and get through to East Lake.
You are leading the field in strokes gained putting, and it looked like the putting had been maybe off a little bit since about May, and you've been putting well at the beginning of the year when you were playing better. Was there something that you solved or fixed, or just the nature of putting, or changed a putter or anything?
No, I've generally been putting well.
Okay.
Like,
stats can lie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I sit overall, but generally my putting is probably
just the last few weeks or so.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple funny rounds the last few weeks where I had a few 3-putts on the Saturday rounds, and you know, that sends you tanking down the strokes gained average. So anyway, I feel like my putting's a good thing. I just go through the process. I just had a couple off days, and yeah, obviously good again this week, and it was good today. So, you know, happy to be playing another week, really.
Adam, when you came into this week knowing you had work to do, was there any added pressure to that to get to next week, or you just wanted to play your 4 rounds and see where it laid at after today?
Honestly, I felt like my game is in a good enough spot that I wasn't searching for anything this week, and it was really about putting my mind to do something and getting it done. And I think that's sometimes the hardest thing at this point in my career, is week after week switching the mind on all the time, floating around on autopilot sometimes, and that doesn't get you very far. So I had to focus a little bit more this week.
Go ahead. The changes to this event next year, where it limits the field down to 70, the purse increases, only those guys are going to get their card. How good do you feel that is to kick off the playoff event coming here next year, and in terms of it getting harder to get here to play in the playoffs?
I haven't really given it a great deal of thought, but my first 2 reactions thinking about it now is it obviously seriously makes the regular season much more important. You know, you can't be dawdling around and thinking you're going to have a good run in the playoffs from nowhere, and you know, you're going to have to be in the top half just to make it. And I think that's quite good. I think you know, we're establishing like a really elite level by the end of the season, and my general feeling on that is that's where it should be, and we'll see how it plays out.
So this is kind of the highest that you've been in FedEx Cup in the last few years or so. When you shoot the 31 on the front, how do you kind of weigh this sort of mentality of, oh, I'm close to the lead, but also at the same time, just like, let's just worry about playing another week? How do you sort of balance that mentality?
Well, after 9, I mean, going into today, I just wanted a good solid day. I felt like that will be good enough to get me through. Most likely under par would have got me through, but maybe needed better. But after 9, you know, I felt like, well, if I have another 9 like that, I could post something and win the tournament. And then a quick bogey on 10 teaches me for thinking anything at all, and I'm back grinding just to play another week. You know, it's an interesting course because it's not long and it doesn't play long, but it just doesn't give up birdies left and right. You really have to string good shot after good shot together, and you know, just to shoot even par on the back 9 is quite a challenge, probably with the pressure of the lead as well. So, you know, I had a chance to win a golf tournament potentially today, but wasn't quite there.
For clarification, a minute ago, did you say dawdling or yodeling?
Well, I do like yodeling because I live in Switzerland, but I did say dawdling.
You have a tendency to dawdle in terms of setting a schedule. Would this force you to do more than you normally do?
You mean for next year?
Yeah.
I think I haven't given it enough thought to give you a good answer. I would really just like to play well the next 2 weeks, and you know, whatever I've done the last 2 seasons, I should do the opposite, is what I think.
And lastly, looking ahead to the President's Cup, I was just wondering what your thoughts are in terms of so much, I guess, that we don't know in terms of makeup of teams and things like that, and does that affect any of your thinking, any of your determination?
Well, I'm not thinking about it. Look, I think the team is, you know, looking good. The don't knows may affect that, but you know, we've got Cam and Hideki right up the top there. Tom Kim looks like the hot player right now, and that's great. I assume he's going to be on the team no matter what. So. And Joaquin Neiman as well. I mean, I think, you know, it's the top half is looking pretty strong, that's for sure. And I'll put myself just under the top half. The bottom half is not bad either. So, you know, of course we're underdogs. That's the same every year, but hopefully we can go there as strong as possible.
I'm sorry. I was going to say this might be even more silly by my standards, but it felt like there was momentum just in the fight that you guys had in Melbourne. Did you lose any of that from the extra year of COVID? In other words, Melbourne kind of feels like a long time ago now.
It does, yeah. Yeah, look, I think I have to say, I mean, I'll give Trevor a lot of credit of, like, really, you know, he's had basically 3 years to get organised for this, nearly 3 years, when he should have only had nearly 2, and, you know, he's done a great job of, like, kind of keeping that enthusiasm and for the players who were in Melbourne, reminding them of it, and educating the players who weren't, who were coming on the team, of how good it was. You know, Trevor's a good mate of mine, and he's put his heart and soul into this thing, so I think he's done a really good job of keeping enthusiasm very high and making sure those guys remember, you know, how close we were to an incredibly special week in Melbourne.
You are going to be on the team either way, but were you aware of where you stood in the standings entering this week?
Did Trevor tell you he would pick me no matter what?
We would assume.
Oh.
I don't have any confirmation.
He didn't tell me that,
okay.
So, you know,
He's dawdling.
He's been watching me grind away every week, the old dog out here, grinding me into the ground, trying to make his team. I don't know, I was like 7th maybe on the
So you were 8 entering the week, so I would think this...
Okay.
What does it mean to just potentially qualify automatically and free up a pick for him?
Yeah, I don't really want to lean on a pick from Trevor because I think, you know, I should play good enough to get on the team, and hopefully that leaves him some room to, you know, make smart picks and never have to justify picking me. Thanks.